There are moments in life when your heart becomes too heavy for words, moments when your strength collapses, your hope fades, and all you can do is fall to your knees and cry before God. And sometimes those tears feel like weakness. They feel like failure. They feel like silence, like heaven itself has become still. But today, I want to tell you something. Your tears in prayer are not wasted, not a single one. God has seen every tear, heard every silent plea, and counted every trembling breath. In fact, some of the greatest miracles God performs begin not with words, but with tears. You may think God is ignoring you, but He is not. You may think nothing is changing, but everything is being rearranged. You may feel lonely, but you are surrounded by angels. You may feel forgotten, but heaven is more attentive to you right now than ever before. Tears don't repel God. They pull Him closer. Tears don't weaken your spirit. They purify it. Tears don't mean defeat. They are often the first sign that breakthrough is near. When you cry before God, you are not losing control. You are handing control over. You are letting the burden slip from your shoulders into His hands. You are letting Him touch the deepest parts of you. There are battles that require fasting. There are battles that require worship. But there are battles that only break when your spirit finally surrenders, and the only language you have left are tears. And God understands that language perfectly. Your tears tell God, I can't do this alone. Your tears tell God, the pain is real. Your tears tell God, my heart is open. Your tears tell God, I trust you even when I don't understand. God responds to that kind of prayer, not with delay, but with movement. While you weep, God is working. While you are crying, God is fighting. While you are breaking, God is building. While you see nothing, God is preparing everything. Do you remember Hannah? She prayed with tears so deep that the priest thought she was drunk. But heaven knew exactly what those tears meant. Her miracle was overdue. Those tears opened the door for Samuel, the prophet who would change a nation. Sometimes your tears are not a sign of something ending. They are the final push before something holy begins. You remember Hagar? She cried in the wilderness, abandoned, betrayed, rejected. But her tears opened heaven's ears. God sent an angel because of her tears. God revealed a well because of her tears. God made a promise because of her tears. Your tears may make you feel abandoned, but they actually summon divine assistance. Do you remember David? He said, You have collected all my tears in your bottle. Why? Because tears are sacred to God. They are proof that your heart is still alive, still soft, still trusting, still reaching for Him. Some of you are crying because you feel forgotten. Some because everything in your life seems stuck. Some because you've carried responsibilities no one knows about. Some because your prayers have gone unanswered for years. And some of you cry at night because you feel strong in front of everyone else, but God is the only one who sees how much you're carrying. Let me speak directly into your spirit. God is working right now. Not tomorrow, not next year. Right now. There are prayers you prayed 5 years ago that are being answered this season. There are tears you cried last month that moved heaven into alignment. There are battles you lost that God is about to redeem. There are people who walked away, and God used their absence to protect your promise. There are doors that closed, because God is building a new one that opens wider. And some of you need to hear this. The more intense your tears have been, the closer your miracle is. The deeper your pain has felt, the higher God is lifting you. The quieter God has seemed, the louder His breakthrough will be. Don't misjudge the silence of God. When a seed is in the ground, it's silent. When a baby is growing in the womb, it's silent. When God is preparing something extraordinary, it's silent. But the silence does not mean God is absent. The silence means God is working beneath the surface. You may not see anything yet, but your tears have watered the soil of miracles. Your tears have opened gates you cannot see. Your tears have summoned angels you didn't know were standing beside you. Your tears have spoken to God in a way your words never could. So keep praying, keep trusting, keep crying when you need to, because one day soon God will turn those tears into testimonies. He will turn your grief into glory. He will turn your pain into purpose. And the very things that made you cry will become the things that make you lift your hands and thank Him. Your tears are not wasted. Heaven is responding. God is working. And your breakthrough, your long-awaited, long-prayed-for, heavily cried-over breakthrough, is on the way. When you bow your head in prayer with tears streaming down your face, something holy is happening. Something far deeper than emotion, far greater than pain, and far more powerful than anything you can see. Many people think tears are a sign of weakness, but in the presence of God, tears become a language. They become a spiritual release. They become a doorway through which heaven intervenes on earth. When you cry before God, you aren't falling apart. You are surrendering. You are placing your... The second truth is that your tears in prayer are a powerful expression of faith and a channel through which God works behind the scenes to bring about breakthroughs. Many believers underestimate the spiritual significance of crying out to God in their moments of desperation, sadness, or need. Tears are not a sign of weakness, rather they are a sign of genuine dependence on God, a manifestation of a heart that refuses to settle for anything less than divine intervention. Every tear you shed in sincere prayer resonates in the spiritual realm, moving God's heart and activating His power to respond. When we understand that our tears have value in God's eyes, we begin to see prayer not just as a ritual, but as a transformative force that changes both our inner world and our external circumstances. Tears in prayer represent honesty and vulnerability before God. When you bring your burdens, frustrations, and pains to the Lord with tears, you are acknowledging your total reliance on Him. God honors this vulnerability because it reflects faith. Faith that He is listening, faith that He is able, and faith that He cares deeply about your life. Many people try to appear strong, to hide their struggles, or to convince themselves they can handle everything alone. But these approaches limit God's work. The third truth is that persistence in prayer, even when it seems like nothing is happening, positions you for God's perfect timing and miraculous intervention. Often, we measure the effectiveness of prayer by immediate results, expecting instant solutions or visible changes in our circumstances. However, God's timing is always perfect, and the unseen work He is doing through your tears and prayers is far greater than what you can perceive at the moment. Every prayer, every tear, every heartfelt plea is like a seed planted in fertile soil. It may lie hidden beneath the surface for a time, but it is actively germinating, growing, and preparing to produce a harvest of blessings, breakthroughs, and divine answers. Understanding this principle helps believers maintain faith and hope even during long seasons of waiting. Persistence in prayer demonstrates faith and resilience. It shows that you trust God's wisdom and plan even when the situation appears impossible. When you continue to cry out to Him, even through repeated struggles, you are declaring that your hope is not in circumstances, people, or temporary solutions, but in the eternal power and promises of God. This persistence is not about the quantity of prayers or the volume of tears. It is about the quality of your faith, the depth of your dependence on God, and your willingness to wait and trust Him fully. History and Scripture are filled with examples of individuals who experienced tremendous breakthroughs because they refused to give up in prayer. From Hannah, whose persistent cries for a child were finally answered with the birth of Samuel, to the persistent widow in Jesus' parable who received justice from the unjust judge, the message is clear. God honors unwavering faith and persistence. Your tears are also a form of spiritual warfare. They are not just expressions of emotion. They are a force that penetrates the spiritual realm, breaking chains, dismantling obstacles, and preparing the way for divine intervention. When you pray with tears, you are engaging your whole being, heart, mind, soul, and spirit, in partnership with God's power. The enemy may try to discourage you, make you feel your prayers are ineffective, or convince you that God is not listening. But your persistence, fueled by genuine faith expressed through tears, acts as a declaration of spiritual authority. In conclusion, every tear you shed in prayer matters. They are not wasted moments of sorrow or frustration, but powerful expressions of faith that move God's heart and activate His supernatural work in your life. Your tears reveal your dependence on Him, demonstrate your persistence, and open the door for miracles that only He can orchestrate. Even when answers seem delayed, remember that God is working behind the scenes, preparing blessings, breakthroughs, and divine interventions that exceed your understanding. Keep praying, keep crying out, and keep trusting, because God sees every tear, hears every word, and is orchestrating a response that will glorify Him and transform your life. Your faithfulness in prayer is the key that unlocks the manifestation of His promises, and the blessings you have long awaited are already on their way.